welcome to another episode. In this episode, I want to talk about first date number 43, and I want to talk about one of my favorite t-shirt companies, which is Nine Line. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So first date number 43, by far, out of the 58 dates that I have had so far, number 43, hands down, my absolute favorite date. So I often have joked to him as well that I feel like he's the one that got away. What's really funny is like we have been in touch with each other off and on since this date, and we have not gone on a second date. Mostly because we live so fucking far away from each other. I'm literally on one side of the country, he's on the other. Anyway, but what's also kind of funny is we actually got in a fight yesterday. So I was kind of like, I don't know if this is the best time to talk about number 43 because he was my favorite. But at the same time, man fucking pissed me off. So fuck it. This is literally the best time to talk about it. Okay, so I also wanted to talk about long distance because I think, quite honestly, I don't know if he's the one that got away, but I do think that he has been my favorite all this time, right? And I think part of it is because we get along really well. We're both in the Army. We have similar senses of humor, similar outlooks on life. Our morals are very similar, just like the way we view the world is very similar. And when we decided to see each other, it was like over a weekend, right? Okay, so as the Army says, let me circle back. Okay, all right. So I met number 43 on social media. It was either Facebook or Instagram. I think it was Facebook first. But anyway, so we met like years ago. I was heavily obsessed with CrossFit. So was he. We had mutual friends. And I don't know how. Somehow we became friends. Anyway, so through the years, because he's in the Army and I'm in the Army, we became friends. And we would message occasionally, direct message, whatever. We would laugh at each other's jokes or whatever. And of course, I'm funny as shit, right? So he always commented on my shit. Anyway, so as you guys know, right, so like last June, July, I shared on my social media that my marriage was over and had been over for a while, but I didn't know how to say it. So I finally just shared it on social media. And he was one of the really nice people, like no shit, who like reached out to me and was just kind of like, if you need to talk, I'm here kind of thing. Sorry, I thought you guys were really happy. It sucks, whatever, right? So, of course, life went on. And I went to go visit one of my best friends. He lives in North Dakota. And I was coming back for New Year's Eve, right? And I was like coming back like with the snowstorm. It was like really bad weather. And I ended up being stuck in Chicago. And I was supposed to go back to work on Monday, whatever the fuck that Monday was. I don't remember the date. And the weather was like getting significantly worse, right? So I was in the airport. I talked to my boss. My boss was like, just make it. Like, I don't care if you're like a day late or whatever. Just make it safe. Which was awesome, right? So I started looking at like my options, right? Because I didn't know if I wanted to be stuck in Chicago. I didn't know if maybe somebody was nearby Chicago, or maybe I could just be stuck in another place, make it kind of like a mini trip, right? Trying to make like the weather the best scenario, right? So I reached out on social media, which of course I'm like always fucking on. And I was like, hey guys, I'm stuck here. Where are you guys? Is anybody around to help me for like a couple days, right? So he was one of a few people because I'm really fucking grateful and lucky as shit that a lot of you like care enough to be like, come stay at my house. I know a friend, whatever. Anyway, but the way it worked out, he was like, come stay with me in my city, we'll get you back like the next day or whatever. And he was like, fuck it, like I'll even pay for it. And me, like always trying to be independent, my mom, all that kind of stuff. Like, she didn't raise me that way kind of thing. I was like, no, I have my own money. Like, let me look at the flights, let me look at the schedule, whatever. Right. But I thought it was so fucking sweet. And then he like sent messages. He like mentioned it on the post, whatever. So ended up not working out. I ended up staying in Chicago. I had some wonderful fucking pizza with a couple people I know, and it was fine. It ended up being great. And I made it back to work safely. Right. But I remembered how sweet he was. Right. So I sent him a message, like, may have been even a text. It doesn't even matter. But I sent him a message basically saying, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the offer just to help me out, right? So I was like, hey, whenever it's possible, because of course I know where you live, where I live, whenever it's possible, like, let's meet for a drink, like as a thank you, because I appreciate the offer, right? And I try to be generous and, so to me, I was like, it'd be kind of cool, right? I mean, we hadn't met in person at this point. So like, why not, right? So I don't know. So we decided, because he lives fucking far, I live fucking far, we decided to make it like a fun weekend, right? I don't know whose initial suggestion it was exactly, but I was kind of like, I need to go to Florida anyway. I need to pick a bunch of my fucking TA50 from my ex-husband. I would love to see, Whiskey, the other dog that I've had for years and adopted with my ex-husband, and he has custody of her, which is fine because I know he treats her really well. I was like, I would like one final like goodbye with her. So why don't we fucking do Key West? I was like, my ex doesn't live too far from there. I've never really been to fucking Key West, and I think it'd be like a fun fucking weekend, right? So he was like, I've never been there either. Let's fucking do it. So we made it happen. We both put in like leave time at work. We talked about it, for a while, right? So we were both like really fucking excited. So we were, talking about, we could stay here, we could stay there, whatever. Neither one of us really knew like the area that well. And I love fucking Airbnb and I love to travel, right? So I was like, well, let me start looking at Airbnb. He was like reaching out to friends in the area. And then like one night I couldn't sleep and I was like, holy fuck, we could stay on a yacht. And I started researching the yacht and like the harbor that we stayed in, where it was in location in Key West. And I was like, holy fuck, this is awesome, right? Like it's a little expensive, but fuck it, right? Like I feel like, you only live once, right? Like fucking YOLO. And then aside from that, it's like vacation. I need a vacation. Like we're coming off of COVID. Like that was really stressful. Like it would be awesome. And like how fucking fun. Like I already know I get along with them. Like I already know like we're going to have fun. So like, fuck it, let's do the yacht thing. Right. So then I don't even think I even gave him the option. I think I literally was just like, hey, guess what? We're staying on a yacht, whatever. Right. So I sent him like all the information and everything. And he was very like, like I'm all for it. I'm all for whatever, like adventure. It's going to be fun. Let me split it with you. Let me pay for it, whatever. And I was like, I already paid for it, like fucking done. Right. And I do my best to be generous, like with my friends and family. Like it's just one of those ways that like I show people like I love them and I care about them. Right. So I was like, no big fucking deal. Like money doesn't mean anything to me. Like you live once. Right. And aside from that, I'm not going to fucking take money with me when I like leave this planet. So like, I don't give a shit and it'll be fun. Right. So he kept mentioning it was awesome. We're both looking forward to it. He, by the way, did his best when we actually fucking landed in Key West, which, by the way, holy fuck. If you're going to go to Key West, fucking fly in that airport. It is like one of the best fucking airports I have ever seen. Like there is liquor fucking everywhere. There's like a cute fucking little bar cart. Like it looks like a little tiki hut kind of thing. Like when you fly in or fly out or whatever for fucking baggage claim. It's cute as shit. You can get like drinks right off the fucking bat and baggage claim as soon as you get off the plane. And the area where, you go for like the gates to like depart, there's like bars everywhere. The fucking drinks are awesome. They have like really fucking cute names. And then they let you put like extra shots in the drink. So I think most drinks there are like fucking $9-10. And of course you're feeling great. So you're like, fuck it, I'll have 4 of them extra shots. Yeah. And it's fucking awesome. And everybody like loves each other, gets along. And it's fun as shit because like you can literally see people getting like thrown off flights because they're like too drunk or they pick up the wrong bags or shit. Anyway, my point is if you ever fucking gonna go to Key West, go to the fucking airport. Anyway, so we go ahead, like I said, like we're planning the trip. We're both really excited. Our communication like escalates because we're actually going to meet in person. Like I already knew that I liked him, right? Like he is my type. He's like the infantry guy, close to my age, funny as shit. He has an accent, which I fucking love because he's from the South, but whatever. Like I knew we were going to get along really well. Right. So sure enough, right off the bat, like we see each other in fucking baggage claim. And we had talked about like a Yelp review, right? Like we had been joking about how like, obviously I had been on this point 42 dates. So obviously there must be something fucking wrong with me. Right. So like we made into this whole fucking joke, right? And he was just like, I'm going to give you a fucking like Yelp review at the end. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking give you a Yelp review. Anyway, so right off the bat, we started joking about how I landed maybe like, I don't know, half an hour or so before him. So by the time he landed and we were like texting and everything, like he was like getting off like the plane or whatever, I was like, well, I'm on my fucking like second side or whatever. And he was like laughing. So we found each other, right? We hugged or whatever. I enjoyed my drink and then he went to get his bag. And then like right off the bat, like all the jokes started because he's just like, bitch, you didn't even fucking get me a drink. Like I'm getting my fucking bag all by myself. It was awesome. He was like, it's already a fucking one. And we were like laughing. Anyway, so like the whole trip was so much fun, right? We found the yacht right away. He was like a fucking amazing sport, like the whole fucking time. But especially because as soon as we left the airport, we got like a fucking Uber or Lyft or whatever. We made it to the harbor. We found the owner of the yacht. Really fucking awesome. Really nice guy, by the way. Gave us like a tour of the yacht, of course, like how everything works. The toilet was like fucking hysterical. That was like that could be a whole fucking episode all by itself, the fucking toilet on the yacht. Anyway, but he like gave us a tour of like, the entire like harbor club. Amazing place. Like you can shower, you can have like amazing fucking food, amazing bar, beautiful view, great private beach, which we spent a good portion of our time with there, like on the private beach. Fucking awesome. Fucking amazing trip, right? So, but anyway, right off the bat, like as soon as we meet the owner, me being me, like, cause my mom's always raised me being friendly, being sweet, whatever. Like I love to network. So I was like, hey, why don't we fucking like have like a drink or breakfast or lunch or whatever the fuck time it was, right? So like the owner of the yacht's like, fuck it, I'm free, right? So the three of us like go and like we immediately have like a meal, and it's so much fun, and we have like drinks, and like the party already fucking started, right? Like I don't even know how many drinks I had. I went to go pee at one point, and I'm like, you know what? This is fucking awesome, right? So as I said before, like I love to spoil people that I love, like my friends and family. I love to be generous. So I was like, you know what? Paid for the first fucking bill, right? Amazing meal. And he was such a good sport, because like who wants to go on a first date and then like your date's like, hey, really nice to see you, you flew all these hours, but you know what, let's go have like a first meal with this like random guy, right? Anyway, it was like a great sport, and so much fun. Anyway, so that trip was great for many reasons. Like the views were fucking amazing. The yacht was like gorgeous. We did a lot of sightseeing. What's fucking awesome about him is we did sightseeing that he knew I would like, right? So we were basically there for a weekend. The weather is fucking amazing. Key West is amazing. He did his best to like be a gentleman, which I really fucking appreciate. I mean, he's from the South. Like it's fucking awesome. But I knew we were going to get along, and we did. Like we were basically glued at each other's hip for like, I don't know, fucking like 3 days, 2 nights, whatever, right? Which is a lot, right? For a first date, if you think about it, right? You've never met somebody in person. It's different than online. If you're chatting online, even with all the mutual friends, even as long as we've known each other, we'd had a couple phone calls before for like random shit. He was always like my go-to with the Army. He'd been in the Army longer than me. He's just a nice guy, right? So whenever randomness would happen, I'd always reach out to him. But we were meeting for the first fucking time, right? So anyway, so it was awesome. So it was a great trip. We didn't have that much time, as I said before. So we were kind of limited to like the entertainment things that we could do. Of course, we drank a lot. Of course, we had wonderful fucking meals everywhere we went. Of course, we laughed the whole time. There's fucking like roosters everywhere. Like it was so much fun to like just explore that area together with somebody that you got along with really well, right? Everything was really easy with him. So much fun. Like never an awkward moment. Laughed a lot. Whatever. I don't know. It was like such a great trip. Like I have so many great memories about it. He did his best to make sure that like from after that first meal, like I hardly spent any money. He covered most of the Ubers, most of the drinks. It got me this really fucking cute t-shirt from Sloppy Joe's. Like it was just a great trip. And one of the things that I liked the most was because we spent so much time together, right? So like you never meet somebody in person, then all of a sudden, bam, 3 days together, 2 nights, right? What was really cool about him, and the reason he was my favorite, aside from the fact that I think he's cute, and I kind of somewhat feel like he's the one that got away kind of thing, but aside from that, we just had so much fucking fun. Like we got along really well. We kind of bickered here and there because, of course, in the Army, you talk shit, right? A couple of the restaurants actually that we went to, a couple of people assumed we had been married for a long time, which made me laugh, and it made him a little uncomfortable, but was funny, right? One of them in particular is a really cute lady. She's from like Armenia, I think, maybe. Anyway, she was really fucking cute, and she like asked us like how long we'd been married, and he was like, holy fuck, right? Anyway, it was just really funny. Like, it's so much fucking fun. Loved that trip. Oh my God, love that trip. I think if we lived a little bit closer, we probably would have gone on another date. But you know what? Sometimes, like, I don't know, like dating and life shouldn't be that fucking hard, right? And as I said, he pissed me off. So I'm kind of like, whatever, like I feel like we'll be friends for a while. I don't know if we'll ever see each other again in person, but I do fucking know that if we do see each other again in person, it's going to be fucking fun. And I have no regrets, right? Like, I don't feel like Dating at any age should be like so much work and it should be so much pressure. Like we had so much fun. Like I was really sad when we had to part ways because we were like basically glued at the hip, but we were both kind of like I need my own space. So like a couple times like he went on the yacht by himself, made a couple phone calls, did whatever he was doing. I was kind of like listening to music, like watching like the stars with like the fucking moonroof, and it was cool. Like we never argued, like we didn't fight about anything. It was awesome. I ended up, by the way, of course, with the fucking best fucking Yelp review possible, by the way. But it's interesting because so 43, of course, like I said, we're still friends. He pissed me off yesterday, whatever. That's life, right? But he is definitely my favorite out of all the 58 that I've had so far. I don't know, as I have said before, if we'll hang out again. If we do, I know it'll be fun. But I do think that it's interesting to consider and to talk about and debate with your friends, right? So, like when I think about 43, I think about fun and laughter, whatever, but I also think about like long distance, right? So, like he loves his job. I'm not going to go into too much detail, obviously, but he spends a lot of time at his job and he loves it and he's good at it from what I can tell, right? So, he doesn't have a lot of free time and I don't have a lot of free time. He, by the way, blows me away. He has even less fucking free time than I do, but whatever. But the reason I think it's interesting to debate number 43 is because you meet somebody online, you have chemistry, you don't have chemistry. It's just, online dating is just interesting all of it itself. Technically, we didn't meet on a dating app. We met because of CrossFit, whatever, social media, I believe Facebook, whatever. But I think it's interesting to debate long distance with your friends and family and to consider long distance in your own life, right? So I love Tinder. I'm on a couple of other dating apps. I'm on Hinge. I'm on Bumble. I'm on Facebook dating. My favorite, hands down, every single fucking time is Tinder. Tinder is so much fucking fun. Like, it can be safe. By the way, I've been really fucking lucky on my 58 dates. I've never felt unsafe. I've never felt like I was with somebody that was going to harm me in any way. So I've been really fucking lucky. So I think that might be part of it, of why I love dating so much and why I find so much fun out of it is because I've never had a bad experience. And I will actually, on the next season, which I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to start the next season, but on the next season, I'm going to kick it off with talking about like tips of how I screen people, which I've talked about a little bit before, but I'm also going to talk about transportation to and from the dates, right? Especially with the guy who fucking called me a pogue. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in detail, right? Because I've mentioned, background checks before. I'm going to talk about transportation. I want to talk about just like red flags, right? So I always joke that like I love red flags. If the guy's cute, fucking I don't see a flag, whatever. But on a serious note, as far as like safety, I know I've talked about Moonlight, but I want to talk about some other things going forward, right? So look forward to that, hopefully. Very soon, whenever I wrap up the season, I'm going to start off the next season with, oh my God, I don't want to give his name, but there's a fellow photojournalist out there who gave me the name for this like next season, this next like spinoff kind of thing that I want to do. And it's called Just the Tip, parentheses, S, right? So 106%, just the tips. Oh my God, I cannot wait for that to come out. But anyway, so I'm going to start to talk a little bit more about safety because I'm loving dating. So much fun to meet people. I love like the different walks of life. It's been so much fun, so positive. But I think I've been really fucking lucky. So I want to go ahead and continue to share like my best practices, my tips, just the tips, right? So that way you guys are safe as well in case you do want to go on like online dating because COVID for this part, for the most part rather, is pretty much wrapping up, right? So like nobody wears a mask anymore, at least where I'm at in New York. People are shaking hands again, hugging, the whole bit. So anyway, and I do believe like things happen for a reason, right? So I had so much fun on date 43. I don't know if he's necessarily the one that got away. It doesn't really fucking matter because in the end of the day, I had so much fun that weekend. I will cherish that to the day I die, right? Because it was just fun. Like who goes away for like a weekend on a yacht in a place that you've never either been before? It was great. It was a great trip. I ended up getting my, TA 50 from my ex. I ended up having like a wonderful fucking couple of days with Whiskey, the dog that my ex still has. And it was just great. It was like, it will hands down be like one of my best trips. It will be fucking hard for anybody that I date in the future to top that, right? So much fucking fun. Like the Hemingway house, like fucking alone. It was so much fun. We were going to go parasailing. Thankfully, the winds were so high that they didn't let us do it because I have like this serious, huge fucking fear of water. Like if it's like deeper than my chest, I kind of freak out. I'm sure something happened to me when I was a little kid, but whatever. But I'm not a little bitch, so I was going to fucking do the parasailing anyway. So we tried it a few times. The winds never changed. I was like, fuck yes, right? Anyway, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about long distance, because my ex and I dated for quite a while before I went to basic training. And when we were dating, I was living in San Antonio, Texas. He was in Houston, Texas. So it was about a 4-hour drive from where I was living to where he was living. So it was a little bit of work, right? And I didn't actually want to pursue the long distance relationship, but he was like really persistent. The night we met, I actually gave him a wrong number. He was really funny as shit. It was like time change, and he was kind of like, it's fate, whatever. So he made me laugh. I ended up giving him the right number, and we ended up having a 12-year, relationship. So even though the marriage ended, it wasn't a failure in my eyes because, I don't think any relationships really are failures. I think you learn what you're supposed to learn from each other. Life goes on, whatever, right? Anyway, all that to say, I do think it's interesting to talk about long distance and short-term relationships and where your significant other lives and how they feel about the subject, because I see positives with long distance because you don't see each other as often, right? So you kind of appreciate the time that you do spend with each other in person. I think a little bit more, right? I do think that there's some truth to like some of the cliches out there, like absence makes the heart go fonder. I think that's like a real legit thing, right? I went to basic training a few months after my ex and I met. He wrote me the fucking sweetest, most romantic fucking letters, handwritten every fucking day I was in basic training. He would send me comic strips. He would send me like news articles, song lyrics. And he called it all like this little package, like every fucking week. He called it the McKithen Report. And it was so fucking cute and sweet. And I don't know if our relationship would have progressed if we were living so close to each other. So I do think it's an interesting topic, right? I do find convenience though. Like if whoever you're trying to date, if they live fucking 5 miles away from you, well, fuck, you're going to see them more often. It's more convenient. So I just think it's an interesting topic. So when I think about 43, when I think about my ex-husband, when I think about dating, which is my favorite fucking, thing to do on Tinder, it's interesting because Tinder has like a location thing. So some men that I have liked live like an hour from me. Some live like fucking 8 hours. Like, it's just interesting. But anyway, those just my thoughts, 43, my favorite. The guy pissed me off, so who knows? But that's okay because that's part of life, right? I don't know. The other thing that I really love about life, and specifically being a veteran, is there are so many fucking veteran-owned businesses out there. And I'm so grateful to have stumbled on a few. And I'm even more grateful to have met some of the business owners in person or just on social media. Like, it's been so fucking awesome. So as you guys know, right, I love to like go out on my fucking first dates in like grunge style tees, and I love grunge style anyway. But I don't know if some of my favorite tees from grunge style are necessarily the best first impression, right? Like one of my favorite tees, which I'm like wearing the fuck out, is the one that says fuck your feelings, right? From grunge style, fucking love it. But I don't know if that's necessarily the best first date t-shirt, right? So that brings me to the company that I love that is called Nine Line. Of course, I would be shocked if you guys have not heard of them. They're fucking awesome, veteran-owned company. They're definitely on the same level as far as like quality of like their t-shirt. Like their fucking t-shirts last forever. I'm wearing one of them right now, actually. But they're definitely more subdued. They're definitely more acceptable to wear on a first date. I love them. They're like very patriotic. So like Nine Line, medevac, I'm not going to go into like excruciating detail. If you're a civilian, you're not familiar with Nine Line, I definitely encourage you to Google. One of the things that I really like about Nine Line, as I said before, they're definitely more subdued. But I love them because the quality is fucking amazing. Like I said, I'm wearing a t-shirt right now. So Nine Line for most veterans, like, I think for the most part, and it's on their website about in their about section, and I agree with it completely. Like when you see Nine Line, whether it's like their amazing fucking logo or you see it like in a training scenario or in a movie or whatever, I think for the most part as a veteran and probably even as a civilian, like quite seriously, I think you equate Nine Line with like patriotism, right? And then hope and trust and like, you know, you believe in your country, you believe in your countrymen. I don't know, just they're great t-shirts, and they're information that they put on the back of their shirts are really fucking awesome, because the front of their shirts for the most part are always the logo. They have like the flag on the sleeve, which of course I fucking love. And I definitely encourage you to take a look at their website, look at their t-shirts, look at their designs. Their designs are awesome. They're definitely more subdued, but I really like them, and I really love Grant style. So it's not like I like one more than the other. I love them both, and I feel like if you like one, you'll like the other. So when you get time, please take a look at both of their sites, right? I keep talking about Grant style and Nine Line, and definitely keep in mind that I'm here for you if you need anything. My mission here is just to let you guys know that I'm available, and, you know, hopefully I can, get you to laugh, get you through your day, get you through like your drive at work, your trip to the grocery store, like whatever the fuck. Like I'm here for entertainment, and I'm here for you if you need anything. And definitely, please continue to reach out to me on social media, on any of the platforms that you find me on. I'm definitely loving your messages. I got 2 messages the other day, actually yesterday, that fucking warmed my heart. One was from a friend I haven't seen in a while, just thanking me for being online and doing what I'm doing. And the other is from a fucking complete stranger, and I definitely appreciate it. And if you have any questions, like I keep saying, I'm here. And that's it, guys.